Today, I'm going to show you common EF core performance mistakes and how to fix them. EF core lets you talk to a database using C# code instead of SQL, but it still generates SQL and sends it to the database. Being able to see those SQL statements can save you when investigating issues. You turn on logging. When you set up your DB context, you add the log2 method. Now you can see the SQL that EF core sends to your database. If you have too many logs, use the tag_with method on your query. This makes it easy to find a specific query in the logs. For security, EF core hides sensitive data in parameters. You can add enable sensitive data logging to see the actual parameters values. Just be careful, don't use this in production. Once you can see a SQL query, you can ask the database how it plans to run it. Most database tools can show you how they run the query step by step. This is called the query plan. It's a great tool for finding performance problems like slow table scans or missing indexes. Every time you query data, EF core tracks every entity in a cache called the change tracker. This cache watches the state of your entities. But this tracking uses extra memory and processing power. Sometimes you don't need tracking. For example, when you're just showing a list of products on a web page, the fix is to add AsNoTracking to your query. Look at the benchmarks. Execution time and memory usage both drop. But there's a catch. Here's an example. You're getting products that all belong to the same category, like bikes. AsNoTracking will create a separate category object for each product. So you'll end up with duplicate objects. In that case, use AsNoTracking with identity resolution. It's slower, but it reuses objects and avoids duplicates. But most of the time, for simple reads, AsNoTracking is enough. Imagine you want to fetch a product table. Loading all the columns sends a lot of data over the network. Do you really need all of them? Reducing the number of columns cuts down network traffic. This improves speed. The solution is to use the select method to shape your data. You can project result into a DTO or an anonymous type. Just select only the columns you need. Look at the benchmark. It's way faster because we're moving less data. And here is the bonus. When you select to shape your data into custom objects, EF core skips change tracking completely. And speaking of cutting down network traffic, there are other ways to reduce the data you send. The most obvious is to filter data using the where method. Only fetch the rows you actually need. You can also limit your result with the take method. Maybe you only need the top 100. For large data sets, you can use paging. Combine the skip and take methods. Let's talk about indexes. When you write a good query against an indexed column, the database does an index seek. It's like using the index at the back of a textbook to jump straight to a specific page. It is fast. But if you write a bad query, you force the database into an index scan. It's like having to read an entire book, word by word, from cover to cover, just to find that one piece of information. So, what causes that index scan? It's often something called a non-SARGABLE query. I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly. It means your where clause does something that prevents the database from using the index. A classic example is running a function on a column, like this one. As soon as you do that, the index becomes useless. Here is a table showing SARGABLE versus non-SARGABLE queries. Say you need to process 500,000 rows from a database table. If you use a method like toListAsync, you're telling EF core to load 500,000 rows right into your app's memory. This can cause a memory spike. The smart move is to stream the data using AsAsyncEnumerable. This way, EF core processes one row at a time instead of loading everything. Your memory usage stays flat and stable. Say you want to update prices for all bike products. The slow way to do this is to fetch all the bike data from the database, look through every bike, update the price, then call SaveChanges. It works, but EF Core generates a separate SQL update for each bike. The fast way is to use a method called ExecuteUpdateAsync. It creates one SQL command that tells the database to update all rows matching your filter. The same idea applies to bulk delete with ExecuteDeleteAsync. Say you're building a query with many joins or complex aggregations. Expressing this kind of query in C# can be difficult. Sometimes the best solution is to use the database native language directly. You can use Raw SQL with EF Core or call a store procedure on the database. And there you have it, a few ways to improve EF Core performance. If you found this video helpful, please like it, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content.